This is Heather from World Class Tutoring, and we are going to work together to solve 10 problems, SAT problems using the online Desmos calculator, which you're allowed to use when you are taking the SAT. So it is a skill that you definitely want to build for this important test. Before you watch the rest of this video, I recommend that you do get our Desmos drill number 1. You can download that worksheet as a PDF at our website, worldclasstutoring.com, or if you're on YouTube, I think you can download it directly from there as well. And give these 10 problems a try first, because I'm not going to, give you time during this video. We're going to go and just do all 10 of them, 1, 2, 3. So please do take the time to try them first yourself, though that's the best way to do it. All right, well, let's get started. Question number 1. What's the smallest solution to the given equation? This does not look like it's a graphing problem. However, the graphing calculator is the best way to do it. So if you are not using the Blue Book app to practice with the SAT, you can still use Desmos. You just have to go to desmos.com and click on graphing calculator. You're going to get a window like this. And you can pretty much solve any equation with one variable that you want using Desmos. What you're going to do, the trick is to split this equation up into two different equations, both of which start with y equals. So you're going to type y equals twice. And then you're going to do the left side of the equation as one, and the right side of the equation as your second one. So the square root, I type SQRT for that. X plus 6 squared. There's our first equation. It looks just like an absolute value. And our second equation here, the square root, SQRT, 6x plus 52. And so the solution to an equation is where the two sides are equal. So it's where they cross, right? So I've got this red line and this blue curve here. And my solutions are the two intersection points. But remember, the y was not a part of the original question. Only the x was a part of the original question. So I'm going to ignore the y coordinates. And my answers here are, my solutions are -8 and +2. And the last thing is, as always, I'm going to reread the question, and it says, what is the smallest solution? So -8 is smaller, so that's going to be my answer. All right, let's try number 2. Okay, so this question, again, we have an equation. I'm going to start with y equals and y equals. And my first side of my equation is x minus 17. The second side, well, now we have a new variable a. That's okay. X minus 17. So the Desmos, as soon as I have a y and an x in an equation, if I use another letter, it's going to give me the option to add a slider. So I'm going to say, yes, I want to add this slider. And now I've got my graph available. And let's just zoom out so we can see it well. The solution, just like before, are your intersection points. But I do have to be careful with that a. So let me check the question again. It says that a must be greater than 17. And my slider has a going from -10 to +10. This isn't a problem. I can just click on one of these endpoints and I can reset that to what I want. So I need to be greater than 17, so I'll start there. And I'll go up to 27. And now I can explore what happens when a moves. And I can keep it in the area allowed by the question, greater than 17. So let's take a look at our solutions. As before, our solutions are those intersection points. Here we have intersection between the purple and the green lines. They are the x values of those intersections, so the 17 and the 25. So when I look at my answers, the question is, what are the solutions? I know they're 17 and 25. Well, I like the 17. I know that number 3 is correct, so let's cross off A because A doesn't have number 3. When I look at the 25 and I look at the answers have to do with A. So let me look at the A value. The A value is 24, and I see that the solution is 25. 25 is 24 plus 1. Let me just slide that slider a little bit. All right, so now I have the A value is 20.1, and the solution has changed to 21.1. Well, it's still a plus 1. That's perfect. I think that number 2 is a second good answer. A by itself is not, so we are going to go with option C, 2 and 3. All right, let's try the next one. Here we have a function, and they want to find the y-intercept. Desmos is fantastic with functions. I'm not even going to use y. I'm going to type it in with an f of x, just like I see here. F of x equals -9 times 3 to the x power plus 50. And I'm just going to, again, use that. I have a mouse. I do recommend when you take the SAT, you bring a mouse. Don't use the trackpad on your laptop. The mouse seems to work a lot better with zooming in and out of Desmos. And I have one with a little scroll button that I really like. So here I can click the y-intercept as a clickable point. And this time I am interested in the y coordinate because that's specifically what they're asking for. I can see that it's positive 41. Well, there we go. We have C as an answer. All right, let's go on to number 4. Um, which expression is equivalent to this one? So if you're good at adding rational expressions like what we have here, you can probably do this on paper a little faster than you can do it on Desmos. However, if you're not sure how to do it, Desmos is a good option. So it's going to take me a minute to type and probably you as well. Please type it along with me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type the question with a y equals in front, as we've been doing. So y equals 3 over x plus 2 minus 6 over 2x minus 1. All right. And now I'm going to type in all 4 of the options. This is why if you know how to do it by hand, you're probably going to be a little faster that way. But if you don't, this is a good option. So again, they're all going to start with y equals, and we have 18 over x plus 2 and 2x minus 1. And I have y equals -3 over negative x plus 3. All right, and then I have y equals -15 over x plus 2 and 2x minus 1. And my last one, y equals 9 over x plus 1 times 4x minus 5. All right, so I got a whole pile of lines on Desmos here. It is not looking all that helpful, but don't worry, I know what to do. I'm going to turn off all of these things I just typed in and bring myself back to the original question. And then one by one, I'm going to test A, B, C, D to see which one's right on top of the original. So A here, nope, that is not the same as the original. I can see that green line is not on top of the blue. Let's try B. Ooh, that purple is not the same thing as the blue. B is not correct. Let's try C. Look at that. I have a black line that is perfectly on top of my original blue line. C is going to be the answer. I'll just double check D. Yep, it's not D. D is not the same, right, as the blue line. C is it. We've got our answer here. All right, let's see what number 5 has. Here's another function. This particular one, I'm probably not even going to graph it, but we are going to use Desmos' ability to work with functions to help us out. So let's get rid of the old question. I've got f of x equals x plus 1, x plus 4, and a factor of x minus 4. All right, here I can see that cubic function. And then it says that g of x, right, is the result of translating the graph of f of x up by 12 units. This is how I tell Desmos that. G of x equals f of x plus 12. So plus 12. That's more like it. So, hey, you do need to know that up 12 in algebra, right, means a plus 12 as that transformation. But if you know your transformations, up and down, you either add 12 or subtract 12 from the end. If it's left or right, you want to add 12 inside the parentheses, right? But if it's up or down, it's outside the parentheses. Last question, what is g of 0? Look at this. G of 0, Desmos just does this question for me, told me it's -4, and that is the answer here. Oh, wait a minute. I'm taking a second look. I have 28, so let me be careful. I see a mistake that I made. Whew, it's a good thing I checked there. This is x minus 1. That's more like it. Now, 20. Hey, look at that. Always double check your work. But we saved it there. The answer is going to be 28. All right, and again, I just mistyped my original f of x, and when I fixed that, it updated my answer for me. All right, let's try number 6. The solution to the given system. So this time we have a system. There's already an x. A system means two equations, right? There's already an x and a y, so I do not need to start with y equals. I can type it exactly as is. So let's get this typed in here. Two equations. 6x equals 36 and negative x plus 4y equals positive 2. All right, I've got two lines. They intersect at one point, and that is the solution of this system, is that intersection point 6, 2. And 6 is the x value of our solution. 2 is the y value of the solution. Always read that question one more time to find out which of those two numbers they want as the answer. And in this case, they want something even a little bit fancier. They want the sum of those two numbers. So I'm going to say 6 plus 2 equals 8. D for this one. All right, number 7, we have another solution, right? And again, they're asking, where do we intersect these two lines? Or one line and one parabola, but Desmos doesn't care. I can graph all of them, so let's do it. Y equals 63, and y equals x squared minus 18. All right, let's take a look here. I gotta zoom. I see that 63, and so I know I have to zoom far enough that I can get to 63 on the y-axis. I've got two intersection points, and it says, what is a possible value of x? So if I see the number -9, that's the correct answer. And if I see the number +9, that's the correct answer. They specifically said x, so I'm not looking at the y values. And either one of those, 9 or -9, could be correct. I see the one that they chose to give me here is +9. So that's the one I'm going to go with. All right, let's look at number 8. Here we have a circle. And the question says, which represents a circle that intersects the x-axis at exactly one point? Hey, if you had to do it by hand, it would be a lot of thinking. It could be done, but Desmos makes this a lot easier. I am going to literally type all 4 options in. Well, let me do this. I'm going to type the first option in. All right, and I can see, let me zoom a little bit better. I see where this circle is. Does it intersect the x-axis at exactly one point? I kind of think it does. It intersects at 1, 0. A is the answer. If you don't trust it, yes, of course, you can graph B, C, and D and assure yourself that none of them intersect the x-axis at exactly one point. And I actually do want to show you how I would do that because there is a little trick here. I'm highlighting my option A. I'm going to hit Control C on my keyboard. And I'm going to hit Control V, copy and paste. And then option B, I don't have to retype. I can just change the necessary numbers. Let's see, this is a -1. And I can see here, let me zoom a little bit better. Let's get rid of A. B intersects the x-axis at 2 points. Yeah, it intersects the y-axis at one point, but that's not the question said. The question said the x-axis. All right, so B is not correct. Again, I can copy and paste. I just wanted to show you that that works on Desmos and it can make your life go a little faster. It's going to be an x plus 1 and a y minus 1. I see two x-intercepts, so this is not the correct answer. And the last one is going to be centered around that origin, x squared plus y squared equals 16. Intersects the x-axis in two places. So as we demonstrated at the very beginning, A is the correct answer here. We've got our one and only x-intercept, so A. All right, two more to go. Number 9, we have a system of equations, but this time there is an M and an N. Desmos does prefer if you use X and Y. It doesn't matter which one you make, like M is X or M is Y, as long as you keep straight what you do. So I'm going to make M equal to Y and N equal to X. I think that's just going to make things look a little more normal for me, but you will get the right answer either way. So it's Y equals 2X plus 1 and Y plus 2, right, equals x squared. And I see that I have my two solutions. Those are your intersections, not the intercepts. And I'm very carefully looking, M is Y, and I wrote on my paper, M is Y. And so I'm looking for the -1 and the +7. Make sure that you use the Y values here. All right, -1 and +7. And so our answer is D. Hold on, let me make sure I got this right. All right, we're going to go with D. Yes. All right. Sorry for the pause. I'm just checking my answer key to make sure I don't mislead you with any of these answers. All right. Last question of the day. We have y equals 3x minus 7. Y minus 4 equals 2x squared. We don't even need the exact solution. We only need to know how many solutions. So remember, solution is the same thing as intersection. So let's graph them and just count the intersections. Y equals 3x minus 7 and y minus 4 equals 2x squared. And when I zoom out, I see a black line and a red parabola, and they are just not intersecting at all. Well, I have my answer. They don't intersect, and therefore they don't have solutions. A is the answer. All right, I hope that you found this video helpful. Best of luck on your SAT. If you need any other help, please feel free to visit us at World Class Tutoring, and we have classes, tutoring, and lots of other free materials that will help you be more ready for this important test.